Alright, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've seen in the year 2022. Got a bunch of Bitcoin news for you, then some Bitcoin charts, and a little bit on a possible expectation or a possible outcome for next year. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that like button and let's get into this. This year, we have had the most tech layoffs since 2001, the worst drop in tech stocks since 2001, the biggest war since World War II, the most aggressive Fed policy ever into a recession, $2.5 trillion lost in cryptocurrency, and yet the S&P is down just 20%. What is it going to take to break this market? And in terms of crypto, I've compiled a list here. So we also had, remember, the wormhole hack, the SEC finding BlockFi, we had the run-in hack, Terra collapsing, we had Gemini being sued by the CFTC, the SEC investigating Binance, Celsius freezing withdrawals, Coinbase cutting a bunch of staff, along with a bunch of other exchanges cutting a bunch of staff. Horizon Bridge got hacked, 3AC went bankrupt, Voyager Digital went bankrupt, Celsius blew up, BlockFi blew up. We had MicroStrategy Saylor stepping down as CEO, the US sanctioning Tornado Cash, Alameda co-CEO resigning, Wintermute hack, Kraken's Powell drops the CEO role. We had the SEC investigating Yuga Labs, Binance saying it's going to sell FTX's native token, FTX Group filing for bankruptcy, BlockFi eventually blowing up, and then SBF being arrested in the Bahamas and charged by the SEC, the CFTC, and the Department of Justice. And that is just the ones I could find, just the ones I could remember. What a year. Probably a lot more than this. But it reminded me of this saying, from the ground, you can only go up. Right? How much worse can it get? Dare I say that? I would think that it's not going to get a great deal worse than this. I would think we have seen the majority of the damage play out already this year. And therefore, I think it's fair enough to say that by 2023, things should start to improve, at least from this perspective. I've got a picture here for you of the Bitcoin Lightning Network ecosystem, which continues to thrive. So from the bad to the good, you can see here, you can pause your video player, zoom in on some of these, and you will see all the partnerships. Lightning is absolutely making massive progress. So I love to see it, and I'm sure you do too. 78% of all the Bitcoin supply is in cold storage. This is huge. This really shows the silver lining from the FTX and all these other exchanges blowing up over this year. People have finally learnt the importance of taking true ownership of your own crypto, and that is reflected by this metric right here. Japan is set to unban foreign-issued stablecoins, such as USDT, in 2023. Again, this fits with a recurring theme on this channel, and that recurring theme is that whenever a nation tries to outlaw or ban cryptocurrency, whether it's an outright ban, whether it's a ban on mining, whether it's a ban on stablecoins, that ban never lasts long before that ban is lifted, because banned or unbanned makes no difference. You cannot stop people using this stuff because it is truly decentralized, because things like VPNs exist, and ultimately because humans are humans, and humans will always find a way around the system if they so desire. I covered on the channel a couple of days ago that El Salvador's My First Bitcoin Education project was thriving. I showed you a quick clip of that on the prior video, I think. Last year, it taught 10,000 students, and next year, it aims to teach 250,000 students. So again, massive adoption. We're continuing to see this thing thrive. We're continuing to see this thing expand and grow exponentially. MicroStrategy has increased its Bitcoin holdings again, this time by 2,500 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy now holds around 132,500 Bitcoin, which they acquired for just over $4 billion at an average price of 30,000 per Bitcoin. They are currently around 2 billion in the hole on this investment. But to say that this thing's not going to be worth 10 billion in the next cycle, at least, to me, seems unrealistic. I'm 100% sure that we're going to see this turn out to be one of the greatest and most aggressive plays by any company ever. So Saylor continues to be all in. What other choice does he have? I, for one, hope he turns out to be correct. The $11 trillion asset management giant Fidelity has filed a trademark application for cryptocurrency trading. So again, I don't think it's a coincidence, and I know I say this all the time, that the big boys are stepping in right at the bottom, right at peak fear for the market, right when the majority of retail has left the market, right at a time when Bitcoin is considered to be dead by many people. These giants, these big boys, these big players are stepping in and buying the dip. Clearly they see a future, and this is evidenced further by HSBC also filing a trademark application for a range of digital currency products and services, including those related to the metaverse, NFTs, and cryptocurrency. So again, If these guys are stepping in, if these big players are stepping in here, then follow the money, right? And so keeping on with this theme, look, Bitcoin is either dead, okay? Bitcoin is either dead and it's never coming back, or Bitcoin moves in cycles. And just like we've seen before, we are going to start a new cycle to the upside soon. It is indeed decision time. More leverage in the system has just created a longer cycle. However, it has not reduced it at all. Now that all the leverage has been wiped out as per all of this stuff that I showed you earlier on, we are ready for the power pump. A blow off top is still coming for Bitcoin, 150k to 300k for the blow off top target. And of course, the question I have pertaining to Bitcoin is, does this top come in 2023 followed by 3 years of downward pressure, or does this top come in 2025 mirroring the type of cycles we have seen historically for Bitcoin? If the top is going to come later, if we are indeed going to repeat this 3-year cycle, 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, is this the sort of thing we could look for? According to T Analyst, it is. The former president of Russia has said the Bretton Woods system will collapse. The euro and dollar will stop circulating as global reserve currencies. And I had a little dig into this. There is a Zero Hedge article here that shows you here has made 10 predictions. So I'm just going to show you those predictions now because I was quite surprised by some of these. So he says what can happen in 2023. Okay, oil prices will rise to $150 a barrel and gas prices will top $5,000 per 1,000 cubic meters. He says the UK will rejoin the EU. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. That seems crazy to me. Anything can happen these days, right? He says the EU will collapse after the UK's return. The euro will drop out of use as the former EU currency. Poland and Hungary will occupy western regions of the formerly existing Ukraine. The Fourth Reich will be created, encompassing the territory of Germany and its satellites, i.e. Poland and the Baltic states. War will break out between France and the Fourth Reich. Europe will be divided, Poland repartitioned in the process. Northern Ireland will separate from the UK and join the Republic of Ireland. He says civil war will break out in the US, California and Texas becoming independent states as a result. Texas and Mexico will form an allied state. Elon Musk will win the presidential election in a number of states which, after the new civil war's end, will have been given to the GOP. All the largest stock markets and financial activity will leave the US and Europe and move to Asia, and the Bretton Woods system of monetary management will collapse, leading the IMF and the World Bank crash. Euro and dollar will stop circulating as the global reserve currencies. Digital fiat currencies will be actively used instead. So does he know something that we don't? Are these predictions going to turn out to be wildly incorrect? Or is this what we have to look forward to in 2023? This last one particularly sounds quite a lot like the whole Great Reset and resetting the system to the CBDCs. So I think we all know this is coming. Is it coming in 2023? In my opinion, that's a little too premature. I think more like 2024, 2025. But of course, I'm open to being wrong as ever. Recession expectations are peaking. This has coincided with 2009 and the 2020 bottom in the market. Recession expectations are peaking amongst investors. So you can see that the dark blue here is percent saying a recession is likely, starting to roll over. And historically, whenever this has happened before, this has marked the bottom of the bear market. So does this mean if this metric can continue to roll over, we may well have already seen the lows? Does that mean the lows are hold? I'm going to get to a chart in just a moment. I want to point two things out before I do. The equity put call ratio is already at record highs again. A record amount of retail is betting on a recession, is betting on a collapse, and will profit from downside in the market. Miles here says it perfectly in my opinion. He says retail will not short the next recession, they will long the top before. They're currently short, which means this is more likely the bottom of a macro correction. There's nothing to say this could not be the first time when retail was right and the majority of the market shorted the market into the last leg down of a recession, of a imminent stock market crash. The one chart I want to bring to your attention today is this. Now this so far, we're still above the lows, but admittedly, we are deviating away from this quite significantly at the moment. I have shown you this before and I'll do this again. If I do this here, now admittedly, I don't like this. I don't like moving the goalposts, but one thing I think we have to be open to is if we do not take out this low, okay, then this becomes an inverse head and shoulders. This also becomes a set of higher lows. And therefore, we can say with quite strong confidence that the bottom is in for this market. These were the ultimate lows of the bear market, and that most likely we're going up. Now, I'm not saying this will happen, and I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't like moving the goalpost like this, okay? This was the original thesis, and possibly this can still sort of press on up, but most probably this thing is invalidated because of the cycle count on the S&P 500. However, if we do not take out these lows, then what is your argument for new lows in the stock market? That's not how this thing works. As you can see, whenever we set new lows, we rally up, we take out those lows and we set new lows. We rally up, we take out those lows, we set new lows. We rally up, we take out those lows and set new lows. If this time, however, we do not take out those lows, then you can say that most probably we have formed a big basing structure from which we are going to emerge to the upside. That, of course, would scorch the majority of retail, which would make sense because that is how markets work. They always scorch retail. Again, not making any predictions. As I've said before, I do not like moving the goalposts like I have here. Of course, this becomes immediately invalidated if we were to continue down and take out these lows, but this is something to watch for, because whilst the majority of the market is 100% convinced of themselves that we are going to take out these lows, the question is, what if we don't? And if we don't, we do indeed have this big head and shoulders pattern inverted, and therefore we could be looking to move to the upside and scorch all of these puts. If you found value here today, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already. Got a few more days of relaxing into the new year, and then we're going to be coming back as a full-time trader, full-time swing trader. We're going to be taking positions live on the channel, doing everything I can to show you how I navigate these markets in real time as a pro swing trader. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, all the best from me. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your time off if you got it, and I'll be back very soon. Cheers.